Hey, Jennuine Love checking in. How y'all doing? Say hi when you pop on so that I can greet you. So excited. I believe this is my first live of 2024, which is mind-blowing. Time sure does fly by fast, and I didn't realize I hadn't been doing lives. And I really am just in an amazing energetic space right now, flying so high on cloud nine after coming out of leadership masterclass. You may have seen my post about it. And it was 5 days, just the most beautiful people and the most beautiful energy that just is so refreshing, and it really got me to thinking about a lot of different things. I love contemplative conversations, conversations that make you consider what you're doing with your life, how you're showing up, the impact that you're making, and it's very valuable to be in places where those conversations happen. And that's one of the things that I, intend to do with my social media and with my presence, is to open up dialogue about things that matter, so that we can get to the place where people are talking and they're sharing and they're open and they're candid about what's going on in their world. Because sometimes on social media, it's so easy to just see the highlight reels and just see everybody's glory days. And we don't stop to consider that there's a whole array of things that are going on behind the scenes. And there's a whole array of things that people have went through to even get to where they are today, myself included, and that's one of the reasons why I do my best to share openly and candidly about my own experiences, because it's important for us to not just see, the highlight reels. It's important for us to know and understand that we really are all connected and we're all humans, and the things that we go through are not that different. We have different names and different places that we live and things like that. And also at the core of who we are, we have the same type of human needs, the same type of desire for connection, the same desire to be loved and appreciated for who we authentically are. And what I find is that in leadership, when you're in a leadership role, or you aspire to be a leader, or you're, that you are, but you're just playing small because you're like, I don't want to do that. That's what I've done for the longest time, and it can be so interesting, I'll say, because somewhere along the line, we've decided that leaders have to be a certain type of perfect, there has to be a certain type of perfection. And just because you're a leader doesn't mean you're human. It doesn't mean that you don't have human emotions and human experiences that cause upheaval in your world and in your emotions, So there's never going to be a place where we're going to be leaders that are inhuman and don't have human abilities and have human, thoughts and processes that we go through. And I just really feel like now in the world, leadership is needed more than ever. And not just any leadership, but heart-centered leadership. And whatever that is could look different for each one of us, and it will look different for each one of us. But what gets to be there is authenticity. And authenticity is not equal to high vibe only. That's not realistic. What is realistic is all of the things, all of the time. You're going to be up and down, up and down. You're going to have different ebbs and flows throughout your life. And hey, Amy, and with leadership, we tend to place this ridiculous responsibility on ourselves that we're supposed to show up perfect. whatever that looks like. And I just submit to you that showing up perfect in leadership looks like you being authentic in your leadership. And what I've just come out of in this 5-day masterclass has literally blown me away. You know, I don't know what I thought it really meant to be a successful coach and, you know, mentor. I have these ideas of what I think, you know, that should look like or would look like. And, you know, I'm in the process of building that for myself and for you, those that are, you know, attracted to my teachings. And to be in the presence of people who are doing the work consistently, showing up consistently for themselves and leading other people, while all at the same time experiencing very human experiences. And as a result, feeling very human things. And I don't think it's ever a good idea for us to place so much, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but so much emphasis on leaders showing up in a perfect way or being, you know, everything's perfect and hunky-dory all the time. That's not realistic and it's not relatable. And what tends to happen in those experiences is the very people that we are called to help end up just leaving and going in the corner somewhere and feeling more crappy about themselves than they did before they joined, because they don't feel like that's attainable, because they're going through human things and they feel like, well, in order for me to be a leader and in order for me to be successful and effective in my leadership, I have to be perfect. And it's just not realistic. Hey, Chris. Hey, Dipsy. It's just not realistic. And it has been so refreshing these last 5 days to be in this masterclass with people who are vulnerable about where they're struggling, what they're dealing with, and watching them lead powerfully in that. And that's the other misconception. We think that if we're going through something, we're not going to be effective. That's a load of crap. That is false news. You know what I mean? Because what I've seen, what I've experienced even in my own life, when you are brave enough and courageous enough to actually show up in the midst of the duality of life, in the midst of being in places that, you know, you're still manifesting something different, and you lead anyway, and you show up anyway, people are impacted by that in ways that just ripple out into the universe in such a beautiful, beautiful way. And, you know, it's okay, I guess is what I want us to understand. It's okay to be human and be a leader. It's perfectly normal to have human experiences and still be able to lead. And I dare submit that that is when we're actually the most powerful. We're the most relatable. We're the most magnetic because we're in our authentic energy. And I can just tell you, for me, I used to like hide away, you know? I mean, so many different things in my world are like just up and down, and I feel like I got to grab on a grasp on something, and then something else falls apart, and I'm just like, and I just feel like, well, you know, let me get this straight and then I'll show up. Let me figure this out and then I'll show up. Being guilty of believing the lie that I have to have all my ducks in a row and everything has to be perfect and A-okay all the time in order for me to be powerful in my leadership. And that just hasn't been the case. What has been the case is when I show up authentically and I share authentically, and I'm not so afraid of, oh, well, if I tell people, you know, what I'm dealing with, they'll think that I'm not qualified to lead. No, what actually happens is they're like, wow, thank you for that leadership. Thank you for being authentic in your sharing. I thought I was the only one that did that. I thought I was the only one that felt that. And that's so empowering. That's really what we're after in our leadership, isn't it? Don't we want to impact people and inspire them and motivate them to be who they are, not a carbon copy of who we are, you know, but to be authentically who we are. And what's needed now more than ever in this world is for us to be in a place of total acceptance of the human experience. There's no more gaslighting ourselves and saying, you know, oh, if you feel negative, you're low vibe. You know, if you're having a bad day and you're sad or you're, you know, heartbroken and full of grief, you're low vibe and you're going to attract negativity. That is a load of crap. You know, I don't care how much you meditate, how much Abraham you listen to, how much yoga you do. You know, at the end of the day, you will have human emotions. That's inevitable. So what we get to do is learn tools to be able to, hey, Dominic, we get to learn tools, you know, to be able to better deal with what we're going through. We get to hopefully have safe spaces and people that we can lean on in those times, but we don't stop leading. We don't stop leading. We don't give up because we're going through a hard time. We don't just disappear on our leadership if we're going through a hard time. People are out there that are aligned with your leadership, your voice, your message, you know? And I think about that. Like, this coach has rocked my world in the best way possible, you know? And I think about a lot, what if she would have gave up? Because some of the stories that she shares, I'm just like, that might have made me run for the hills. You know, that might have made me like, never mind, this isn't for me, you know? And yet she was still there. She still led. She was transparent in that. And as a result, my life has been touched and, you know, transformed. And therefore, everybody that I touch and impact is a result of that. Everything is a ripple effect. And so I think to myself, like, what does it benefit any of us? What does it benefit the people that I say that I'm here to serve if when I'm going through a challenging time, I just, you know, give up in my leadership or I lay low in my leadership? If anything, that is the time to double down in our leadership and be more focused in what we're doing, you know, because sometimes it does help to just take the energy off of so much like, oh, I'm going through a hard time. Like, yes, acknowledge your hard time, but also realize that nothing is there to last. Not the good times, unfortunately, and not the bad times, fortunately. Everything is going to change and shift and flow, you know, and our leadership gets to be solid. And in order for it to be solid, it has to be authentic. And authentic is not equal to, you know, high vibe and perfect all the time. So I just wanted to kind of bring some light to that. You know, if you have any questions, you can pop them in the comments, but I really want us to just be in a space where we're focused on our leadership, focused on what we're bringing to the table, focused on who we're here to serve and why we're here to serve them. When you take the focus off of what you're going through or what you feel like you still have to learn or things that you're still manifesting and put the focus on who am I here to serve and why? And you're in that energy and you show up in that energy. The building can be burning behind you and you're still going to be powerful. You're literally still going to be powerful because there is no energy on the planet that's as magnetic as authenticity, period. And, you know, for me, that's been one of the hardest things because I don't know if you guys know about human design or not, but human design is one of those things that I've been diving into since about 2018 and kind of like on and off again because I was like, this is a little complex. But in the last couple of years, I've really dove into it. And it's really been eye-opening for me. And one of the things that I literally am called to be a teacher and a prophet. I speak things, they come to pass. I can talk to you and feel your energy. I hear what you're saying, but I feel what you mean. It's a gift, you know, and because of my own life, you know, things that I'm literally meant to experience life through trial and error, which means I'm a leader who you might see flop and then get back up. You know, you might see me crash and burn and then rise back like the phoenix. I'm designed to do that. And for a long time, I thought that meant, okay, I can't lead because I don't want to be leading a bunch of people and then, flop and fall or have some crazy circumstance happen in my life and then be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, like, what kind of leader does that, And also I realized that the people who are aligned with me are authentic, period. You're not going to be flying high every single day. You're not going to quote unquote get it right every single day. And that's beautiful and it's perfect. And so I've just chosen for myself to keep showing up anyway. Even when I'm not doing Facebook Lives, I'm doing coaching calls, I'm doing different things. I'm building myself up so that I can be the best leader that I can be. And also I realize now more than ever how much authenticity plays a role in leadership. Self-love is important. And in order to really be authentic, you have to love yourself. And part of loving yourself means allowing yourself to show up as you are, who you are, where you are, And people that are authentic, they get that, they feel that. And everyone knows when somebody's being authentic or not. You can just feel it. It's an energy that is palpable. You can feel when someone is being authentic. So it makes no sense to be going through something hard and then show up and try to lead and just be like, hey, everything's okay. How's everybody doing? It's like, it's okay to say, yo, guys, I'm really dealing with some things right now in my personal life and I'm still here to serve because that's what I was called to do. And I still want you guys to know that I care about you and that I'm here for you. And you know what it does? It allows people to support you. Because where did we get this idea that as a leader, you're not supposed to be supported? You're supposed to carry the weight of everything for yourself. That's not authentic and it's not real and it's not sustainable. It's perfectly okay to receive support from the people that you're leading. I witnessed this over the last 5 days. It was just like hearing the stories of my coach, the things that she shared, and then witnessing in the comment section how much support was flowing through for her. Nobody said, oh my God, I'm signing off of this masterclass because I can't believe you struggle. I can't believe you've been through this. I can't believe you did that. Nobody did that. Everybody was supportive. Everybody felt validated. Everybody felt seen and heard and understood, because there is power in authentic sharing in our leadership. So I just want to encourage you, like wherever you're at, whatever situation you may or may not be dealing with that you think is like, I'll just wait until this comes to pass or till I manifest this better thing before I start really taking my leadership serious. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please allow yourself to show up authentically right here, right now. Please allow yourself to be vulnerable and transparent in your leadership and allow the people who you are leading to support you. There's no hierarchy in leadership. There really isn't. So wherever you're at, I want to encourage you to do that. Let me know in the comments any actions that you're going to take so that I can support you, because we all are in this together. And sometimes, especially if you're an empath, a sensitive soul, it's easy to kind of hide out and feel overwhelmed and be like, I don't want to show up and I'm going through a lot and I don't, want to drain my energy. And I can tell you, I am an empath to the core of my being. Like it's there. There's no, meditating that away. I am an empath and I feel things and I sense things and I know things. And I've also learned, ways to manage my energy so that that doesn't hinder my leadership. So it doesn't, keep me from being able to show up without getting overwhelmed with everybody's energy. It may mean that I sit with rocks in my hands while I do a Facebook Live, but nonetheless, I'm showing up, you know? So don't hide out. Don't hide out. Don't hide out and be sad that nobody gets you if you're not showing up and sharing. Because I promise you, when you show up and share, people will get you. They will understand you. They will feel you. They will, be able to support you, and you will be helping them. And that's really what you want, is to be a blessing and to serve people and to, see humanity rise to their most highest potential. That's what we want. So somebody has to be brave and go first, Might as well be us. Might as well be us that shows up in our authentic sharing so that we can lead people and inspire people to be their best self so that their world can shift and the people that they're interacting with can be blessed. It really is that simple, and it really is that powerful at the same time. So today is a leap year, leap day of a leap year, and it's a powerful time. Every day is powerful, but there are certain astrology times where things are more powerful. And so, I just would invite you to make some kind of bold declaration today of what you're out to create in this world, of how you're going to show up authentically in your life. Maybe you don't aspire to do Facebook Lives or write books or coach. That's okay. But you're still a leader in your life. You're still impacting the people around you. And you get to do that authentically. Please don't put any more pressure on you to be perfect or to have your vibe high, 24/7. It is so unrealistic. Give yourself grace and compassion to be human, to be authentic, and to know that in that space, you are so loved, you are so supported, and you're seen and you're heard and you're loved, and we got you. The whole universe has your back as you show up in your authentic power. Okay, guys. Sending y'all so much love. I will answer any questions in the comments. Do something bold and courageous today for yourself and for the world. Love y'all. Namaste.